Good afternoon, I'm Kaiwaza. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time, or welcome back. I have to confess I kind of jumped the gun a little bit last time. I thought I was really through the letter S, and then it dawned on me after I had finished that video that my collection is divided into 4 sections, and the main section is just this Hawaiian albums, and then I have 3 subsections. There's a section of budget labels, which I really love budget labels. We'll get to those when we get to them. And then I have an Exotica smaller section and other South Pacific records small sections. And I thought, oh, I should really do the S's in those other in the Exotica and the South Pacific before we go forward. So we will be doing the letter B after we finish this, and I think I can crank this out in 2 videos. I'm not sure, but we'll see. So let's get started. First, we have to address some things I recently got that we should have already covered, but I just recently got them. One is from the Society of 7. We did their records. This is the gatefold from 1978. It's called Fashionably Yours, and it does look very late 70s there with a kind of leisure suit look. This is just show tunes. Nice album from them. I didn't recognize a single song on this album, so I don't know where these songs came from. Then what I recently got also is this is an English album out of London called Hawaii by the South Sea Serenaders, and it from 1968. Orchestra album with steel guitars like Living Strings or Montavani or something like that. With the steel guitarist is Billy Bell, who actually, if you have a Hawaiian record from England, there's a distinct possibility that he is the steel guitarist, because he was on many, many albums that came out of England with various sort of groups as the steel guitarist. Also interesting, this record has 19 songs on it. It's 10 on one side and 9 on the other. That's a lot of music on one record. It's almost an hour long. Makes you feel kind of gypped with those other LPs, right? Like, where were they? This one, not really Hawaiian, but it's on a budget label, one of the most budget of the budget labels, Palace. It's called Surfing with the Sunsets. It's not, I wouldn't call it really surfing. It's not really surfing music exactly, but it's just kind of groovy. And interestingly, this one lists, has 7 songs on each side, but they only list 6, so each side has some unknown bonus track. It's kind of a groovy little record. Palace Records. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to go through Exotica, and like I said, I think I can crank all the S's out. I'll try and be fast. If you don't know what Exotica music is, Google it, look it up. Most of you probably, if you're watching this, you probably know what it is. And I do like Exotica. This is Sabu and his percussion ensemble with Sorcery. It's a very tricky cover if you look. It's kind of a double exposure. There's like one face going this way, one face going that way. This is just really a lot of drumming and somebody sort of yelling African words and like a little bit of flute playing. Aurora Borealis, Black Moon, Milkweed. It's interesting. This album, interesting. It's the soundtrack from a film, a Cinerama film. A lot of us may be familiar with the Cinerama South Seas Adventure movie, which I do have the soundtrack to, and I actually just finally saw this past week. This is another film Cinerama did, Search for Paradise, and it's they're looking for Shangri-La, so they're kind of in that Tibet, Kashmir, or whatever region of the world, and it's a very exotic album with some vocals on it. Shalimar Gardens, Valley of the Waters, Elephant Grand Parade. It's a nice album. I've only seen it once or twice too. Kind of a rare one, I think. Here's a really kind of a popish group out of South Africa, the Shangaans with jungle drums, and they're just doing Taboo, Swingin' Safari, Watusi, kind of groovy stuff. This guy is originally from Japan. Shindo plays the koto, amongst other things. And this is one of his albums, Brass and Bamboo. So there's some Exotica kind of songs in some quasi Western, Eastern, East meets West kind of arrangements. The Moon Was Yellow, Caravan, Poinciana. Nice album. And then he did like a really weird record called, I am not even sure how you should say this, but Mganga. Maganga. Featuring the primitive sounds of Shindo. It's got some crazy artwork on it too. Port of Trinket, Nyoba. Kind of a trippy album, very exotic and percussion, and yeah, I like it. Here's one from a former Miss Thailand. That's correct, former Miss Thailand. Sondi Sondsai. This is kind of a well-known record, I think. She does cool versions of like Valley High, singing in Thai, I believe, part of it. Some of the songs have Thai interpretations. Song of India, Buddha Knows, China Nights. Nice album. We have one from Axel Stordahl and his orchestra. Jasmine and Jade. Has Nayani, really a nice song on it. Valley High, On a Little Street in Singapore. Nice. This one, somewhat rare record, really nice. Johnny Spencer and his Kona Koasters, Specifica. I guess it's a play on specific, I think. Great record. Johnny Spencer, Little Joe, Kauoha, Solomon Babalu Davis. George Paoa is doing drums and vocals. George Paoa would go on to have quite a successful solo career in Hawaii. This has great Exotica songs on it with drums and rainfall and birds cooking, cawing, whatever. Drifting Sand, Monsoon, Stingray, Kilauea, Maui Rain. Great record if you can pick it up. Okay, this next one, I think we're going to stop there because I don't want to make it too long. So we'll finish the Exotica in the next video because I want to play a few samples from some of this for you, from the Exotica and the new stuff. So I hope you enjoy listening to some selections from these LPs.
my care.